Welcome back to 404, Purpose Not Found, the show where clarity crashes and your mental RAM hovers at just 3%. Today, we're diving deep into a topic plaguing so many of us. Why do we end up with a ridiculous number of tabs open at any given time?
I'm Bonk Guy, and honestly, I've got 14 tabs open on one monitor and a solid dose of deep shame on the other. I think a lot of listeners can relate to that feeling of digital overload right now.
I'm Useless Guy, currently broadcasting live from a Chrome session that's practically screaming for help. Seriously, there's no strategy here, just pure vibes and absolute chaos as we click and forget.
It always starts off so innocently, right? You open one article that you might read later, then it snowballs a YouTube video, a crypto chart, an online forum, maybe even a half-written tweet. Suddenly, it's an uncontrollable avalanche.
Before you know it, you're living in a digital jungle where your mouse has basically become a machete, hacking its way through the undergrowth of forgotten tabs and abandoned research projects.
And let's be honest, somewhere in there, you'll always find a tab from 2022 that's just a single lonely Google search. What is Kombucha? It's a relic that refuses to close, haunting your browser history.
What's wild is that there's never any real intention to keep all these tabs open. It just happens as we chase curiosity, procrastination, and those fleeting moments of inspiration, only to abandon them instantly.
Exactly. Each click feels purposeful in the moment, but collectively, it's just digital clutter and archive of half-finished ideas and interests we meant to explore, but never quite got around to.
I like to think each tab holds a certain kind of potential. For example, if I ever actually read that Notion productivity blog post, maybe I'd become a productivity guru overnight. The possibility lingers.
I totally get that. I have a tab open for learning Japanese. Do I speak Japanese? Not at all. But just knowing it's there, waiting for me, makes me feel like I could become a new person at any moment.
And then there's always that one tab you refuse to close because it feels almost cursed. You don't remember opening it, but you're too afraid of the consequences if you shut it down.
I call mine the tab of destiny. No one touches it, and honestly, I'm not even sure what's inside anymore. It just sits there, looming, a digital superstitious artifact.
But maybe, just maybe, all these open tabs are a metaphor for something deeper. Each one represents an unfinished thought, a paused dream, or a snapshot of the person we could become if we ever managed to focus.
Here we go. Getting philosophical about browser tabs, huh? But you might be onto something. Maybe it's not just about distraction, but about hope and possibility.
Or maybe, if we're honest, it's just a sign that we have serious attention span issues and commitment problems. It's a lot easier to leave things open than to make a final decision.
Either way, we've decided to embrace the chaos. Maybe it's time to accept the open tab lifestyle and find a little peace in the midst of all that digital disorder.
That wraps it up for today's episode of 404, Purpose Not Found. If you've got more tabs open than actual life goals, don't worry, you're definitely in the right community here.
Be sure to follow the podcast and keep those tabs open. But maybe, just maybe, try closing one just to see how it feels. You never know what kind of liberation it might bring.
Catch you next time when we ask the truly important question that keeps us all up at night. Why do I keep that one broken charger around year after year?
Stay tuned, and remember, sometimes the real mystery isn't in the browser, but in the drawer full of tangled cables. Until next time, keep embracing the digital chaos.